Well, hello, shell buddies. We have a special treat this week. On the anniversary of Milton, we are going back to Lido to show you some then and now, and we're going to have some really fun, cool find shelling and see some pretty wild stuff. It's been a year since Helene, then Milton, absolutely thrashed this area. We're going to go take another look at Lido Key. I know we looked at the erosion on the south end this past week. This time we're going to go take a look at the middle of the island where the Renourishment project is supposed to take place and say farewell to the Sandcastle Resort. We're also going to find some unusual stuff, including stuff that we don't normally find on this coast. Let's get out there and go have another look at Lido Key. Whoa! I don't think I'm going to be able to top that. That's a piece of J. Okay, I don't know what these kinds are called, but Roxanne gave us one of these. It's a big giant Seabean. I'm gonna get in trouble for saying this, I guess, but I'm just gonna have to say it. We broke our cardinal rule. We're going to cover a lot of material in this video, including the Renourishment project, where that is actually supposed to happen, what Lido looked like following the storms, what Lido looks like today in the same places. So there's going to be a bit of additional information here for those of you that are coming to the area this winter and want to know what's going on with Lido because you're planning to stay out there and you heard they're renourishing it. We're going to be doing a little bit of a hurricane retrospective here as well and taking a look at what Lido looked like following Hurricanes Helene, then Milton. And of course we had to go after Milton because you couldn't get to this part of Lido Key after Helene. The roads were still buried in sand. We'll have a little bit of comparison footage so you can see what it was like immediately following everything then to what it looks now. And I'll try to explain what's going on with that Renourishment project a little better too. And we're heading out onto mid-Lido. Wow, it's crowded here. We broke our cardinal rule of not going to the beach on a holiday weekend. I don't know what possessed me. I know, we said we were gonna come to the beach on a holiday and here we are doing it. Ooh, look at that big piece of horse conch right there. I think we want to walk south from here and get to the little rocks sections. Maybe it'll be a little quieter. Oh, look at that cute little olive. He's just a little guy. There. Hopefully that's showing up. Nice little olive. Get us started off here. Hello, seagulls. It's a little crowded right here by Lido Beach Resort and the pool, but it will thin out as we head down. We'll see if this has been shelled all day and there's nothing, or if we find some stuff. But this rock pile definitely got buried by some sand. This is kind of wild. That's really covered. Holy smokes. Yeah, it's always a question mark coming on a late in the day tide. Especially on a holiday weekend. Because we don't know if it's all shelled out, if people have been shelling all day or what. Semele there. Yeah, let's see what's in the water. rough. That wind really picked up. It wasn't breezy like this at the house. Didn't even notice the wind until we started crossing the bridge and saw the whitecaps out on Sarasota Bay. I didn't honestly think it was going to be windy. Well, there's loads of stuff in here, not that you can see much of it. Make our way a little further down. Look at them all. Wow. Oh my gracious. There's coquinas everywhere. Oh wow, that's cool. See, I like tinies. So this is kind of my sort of thing here. That's pretty. Nice little calico. Man, this is just full of coquinas. Look at all the coquinas, babe. Look at all the coquinas. Look at that. Just nothing but little coquinas. Oh, he's just a whole surf clam. Hinged surf clam pair. Right on. Like a set of castanets. I think if we get a little past where the sandcastle used to be, we might have better luck than we did at South. Uh-oh, somebody's got to lose their shoes. I don't know whose these are, but I'm going to move them up out of the way. That way they won't lose them in the waves, because the waves were trying to take that one. You're welcome! Buried right in there in that dune. Not sure what is going on with their sand over here. Why there's such a big pile there and then it drops down. Maybe they just added some new stuff and they haven't spread it around or something. Wow, that's a big empty hole over there where the sandcastle used to be. Aw. That opening down there where the palm trees are is where it was.
Yeah.
There's a pretty calico scallop. And that's a smooth duck clam. That's a nice find. And then what do we got here? Ooh, a little Morton's egg cockle too. Let me get him wet. Awesome. Other little goodies are in here. There's a little auger. There's a hinged coquina pair. And a little juvenile fighting conch. That's not bad right here. Okay. Put that guy in the jar. He's definitely fragile. And that little egg too. And these other ones I'll just put in the bag. And boy, that's mushy. Watch this. Sinking right down. There's lots of cute calicos and lots of commons and lots of coquinas. And not tons of other stuff. But so far a few cool finds. Hopefully as we get a little further down there'll be a few more things. Oh, look at that orange! Oh yeah! I love finding this color orange. That cute little rough scallop. Isn't he sweet? there's another pretty orange. Wow. Some nice little colors showing up here. Kind of fall-like. Cute little white and pink coquina. And a couple of orange scallops. That's just a piece of a rough scallop there. And then that one's a little calico. Here's a little willet. Hey, buddy. What's up, babe? I think we should keep going. I think we should keep going. What do you want to do? Okay. I'm going to go back down to the water then. Oh, there's another orange scallop. Alright. Getting some nice colors on these today. Some pretty oranges. How fun. And we're past the low tide where tide is going to start coming back up now. I kind of like shelling when low is turning back and it's starting to come back in, because things seem to get pushed up and in at you a little bit. Look at all these coquinas. Oh, look at them wiggling. I love watching those guys do that. Boy, some of their colors are really nice too. It always makes me happy to see the coquinas. Not only do I like them as tiny shells, but seeing a bunch of them indicates that your beach is healthy, because they don't like dirty beaches. Gosh, walking this line is soft though, boy. I just keep sinking. Look, there's one of those little Atlantic slipper snails. His slipper piece is broken out of the back of it, but that's alright. It looks like they're going to replace a whole bunch of sand over here because there's bags full of it. I'm not sure why they are, unless they're going to leave it stacked like that until after hurricane season's over, maybe. I don't know. Place is still under construction, it looks like. The Lido is set to renourish from the point up a ways this fall. It said late this year, which I'm gonna guess means following hurricane season, not during it. So yeah, renourishment. Let's talk about that a little more. Might not be what we all thought. Alright, let's take a look at our map and see where things are. We got Anna Maria Island, Longboat Key, and then there's Lido, and there's Siesta. Okay, now which one is New Pass? It is not this. New Pass is up here, at the top of the island. And they say it's getting tougher to get boats in and out of there because of the sand buildup. Now, just in case you don't know this, this is a big seawall, rock jetty thing right here as well over there. And then this, as I zoom in there, you see that? That's a big rock jetty. So you can't come from New Pass safely in a kayak, at least, and get over to here to that beach at all. As a matter of fact, there's no public access really up until you get way, way further up Longboat. Most of the bottom of Longboat is kind of closed off. All right, now let's take a look. This is New Pass. This is Lido Beach. All right, here's Lido North. Here's where St. Armand's Circle is. Here's where the parking is. That little hotels that match each other there. And then the house that looks like the boat is over here. All right. So you can see that there's sandbar activity just above and off the coast here from the north end of the island. So this is where your stretch of beach is that's going to be getting renourished here. All right. All of this stuff right through this area. This is kind of where Lido Public Beach sort of starts, and it continues on all the way down here until you get to Sarasota Sands and South Lido Key Beach Park. And of course, some of these images may be older as far as the satellite goes, because yep, there's Sandcastle still standing. So obviously this is a little bit of an older view of things. So that would show you that the beach actually used to be a bit bigger even then, too. So the sand is washing in, they say, to New Pass. This is Big Sarasota Pass here. This is this area. And if what I'm seeing holds true, even though this is older satellite pictures, you can see where the sand from up there ends up. It doesn't come from New Pass. That's Longboat sand. Ours is down here in Big Sarasota Pass. So really the news report is a little misleading because they're right there at Sarasota Sands and the top part of the park, and you think from watching that coverage that that's, you know, that they're going to do the park too, especially when they showed you the view from the rocks looking south and that big carved out bowl. It would make you think the park's getting done, right? Not according to what I found. All right, so when I see that news report from July, you know, it makes you think that South Lido Key Beach Park is being done. However, that is a county park, not a city park. And the same arrangement that the city has with the Army Corps doesn't necessarily mean the county has that same arrangement. So here we are on the Lido Beach Renourishment page from the city of Sarasota. And let's take a look at the, you know, the schematics and the showing everything where it's supposed to be renourished. And can I just say, for what it is that they're doing, it's not quite as extensive and as big as what went on in pass-a-grille, but Pinellas County also spent about double the money. And of course had to do it twice because they were in the middle of the renourishment project when Helene, then Milton struck. It took everything apart. I mean, just completely dismantled their houses and everything. So I think Sarasota wanted to maybe not rush until we got through the hurricane season for 2025, because if you're going to spend this kind of money, you don't want to just basically see it wash away within weeks. And we've seen this happen both at pass-a-grille and Sunset Beach, where something that was just finished or in process gets destroyed and millions more need to be spent to bring up what was damaged to where it was to the point of being repaired. And this is talking about that, but I want the additional information. Now I can tell looking right here that this is up at North Beach, not where the news reporters were down at the south end in front of Lake Sarasota Sands and right there at the top of South Lido Key Beach Park. This is up toward the north end. This is those two towers right here. That's where you kind of park across the street from them and get onto the beach, and that's that crazy house that I always say looks like a big giant boat. Now I'm looking for the documents. I think this is it here. Okay, City of Sarasota, collaboration with U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, Comprehensive Coastal Protection Plan, All right, so this is probably aerial footage from when it was done a few years ago, because I don't believe they've started pumping anything yet. We were down there not very long ago. There was no equipment anywhere. We didn't see dredges in New Pass, anything. So this stretch here, believe it or not, That used to be, that's the sandcastle right there. So yeah, this is a much older picture. Okay, this is from the last time it was done. Intergovernmental coordination. I want you to show me the plans. I want to see the actual documents. Okay, renourishment. This phase. All right, project documents. Here's what I want to see, I think. All right, so there is the point, and there is where the renourishing is being done. That's St. Armand's Circle up here, and this is where the North Beach access is, just up over this way right here. So it doesn't look like it's going to be taking place down here at all. Let's scroll down through this a little bit. See if I can kind of get my bearings looking at the buildings where things are. Yeah, this is all up at... okay, so here is where the pool is in Lido, right here. There's Lido Beach Resort right there. There's the parking lot for the beach access right here. So that's all getting renourished. And then down from there, all getting renourished. Down, down, down. And I think this was the sandcastle. Yeah, this is sandcastle here. So it's going to get renourished in front of sandcastle. Too bad there's going to be no sandcastle there to sort of take advantage of that. All right, and then down past the sandcastle, here we go. This is where Sarasota Sands would be right here. Sarasota Sands, Harbor South, and Orchid. And so they're going to build a dune. They're going to renourish a bunch of this stuff. I'm assuming they're going to be bringing these lines out quite a ways because of how much sand has been lost. And, but where is the... I mean, it looks like it kind of just sort of ends here. Now, that may just be the dune, okay? They might actually be renourishing more of this than I think. They're going to build the slope out in certain places, and they're going to build an actual dune in others. Now, I can tell you, after the storm, there's a seawall over here at this building here. Just by where, because this is where the rocks would be, right here. This little kind of shadow that you see here. The rocks, the rock jetty is right here. And then there's one further up also. But this, the seawalls were both exposed. I want to say, geez, back in December, January timeframe, we were trying to get around from one spot to get to the rocks. And at low tide, there was the seawall cement was kind of at my shoulder. So feet of sand, even more past what went missing from Milton, went missing. It's a little hard to illustrate what it is that I'm talking about if you can't see it. So I'm going to throw the footage from Milton, that area, then 3 weeks after that video when we went back. And it was like an extra 2-3 feet of sand went missing within that 3-week period. It's just mind-boggling.
We are going to have to kind of do it before tide gets much higher here. There is sand on the other side of it. It's just a little spot, but still.
Okay, now right about here is what I really want to show you. A few weeks back, John and I had been in this exact same spot right when we were first able to go after we got back from Milton. And that took a couple of weeks. And this time frame here now, this footage is 6 weeks or so. The storm was, we were here maybe about 2 weeks after it. So what we're looking at is about a month, maybe 3 weeks to a month before we're out here for this trip now. This is right after the storm. Stuff is still boarded up, but what I want you to see is how much sand there is here. We're at a higher tide level here on this day, okay? we're going to be back on today is going to be like lower tide, even with a little bit of a storm surge. But this is at high tide, and look at how much beach is here. Keep this in mind.
All right, so we lost a bit of sand over here, apparently. Yeah. We can go along the seawall, but you may want to hold on to the edge of it for balance, because some of these are coming in harsh. There's a bunch of sand gone. And we're not that far after low tide, so we will not be making our way back this way. Whoa! We gotta get around this. Damn. Alright, this is sketchy as shit. Eesh. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we will not be going back this way. Okay, here we go.
But then, somehow, some of it filled back in without being worked on at all. So, but judging from what I'm looking at here, I don't believe the park is listed in our images at all. I don't see it going any further. Yeah, I mean, those are the little pathways to the park, and boy, you can tell this is an older aerial shot too, because the rocks don't even show, and the rocks have been showing now for a good long time. So I guess the county needs to make their own plan with the Army Corps so that can get done too. Because otherwise, South Lido Key Beach Park, the beach is just going to disappear. Last year, following Milton, I got some aerial footage and put it together to kind of give you the picture of it, of what the changes look like at Lido from May of 22 to following Helene and Milton in 24. So what I'm going to do is show you that little section, and it's a side-by-side, kind of a top and bottom, where you can see the before and the after. But I'm also going to add in the footage I shared at the end of last week's video that shows you what it looks like now. When it actually sinks in, how much sand is gone and moved, you're going to catch your breath. It's just staggering.
Here we're going to take a look at some footage from Wavescape today on YouTube, which is some really awesome aerial footage that shows you the bottom of Lido, and it's can't believe the differences. Wow. That's the point. That's the point. It's like gone. It's been growing and growing and growing since like Ian, and it's just whoa. Look at the difference over there. That big long sand spit that we used to go out onto, and I'm always videoing it from and showing back. Look at that. Wow. From October. So that's right after Milton. You can see the sand just got into everything, the whole park. But yet, did you notice those rocks? Keep that in mind, because when we swing back around to with their footage from 2022, you're going to see what it looked like in front of everything. It's so crazy. Look at the difference. Look at that. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Wow. Look at that sand spit as of July. That we kept, that's where we kept walking out to go out. When I say the point, that's what I mean. Where all that sand is, because all the shells build up right there. So, oh my gosh. And now this is footage, I believe, from 2022. So in reality, that point had not been big forever. In May of 22, that would have been before Ian hit. I felt like Ian is what made that little point right there on the end bigger. That's what made it grow. Because if you look where it is in 22, it's rounded off. That same little carved in spot there is in the middle. And then as as this swings around, you're going to see like how much more sand there is on that Gulf side, especially over by where that little resort is on the end. The Orchid's down over there, and Sarasota Sands is down over there. So, all right, here we are swinging around. Now take a look. Where's the rocks? Do you see rocks? I don't see rocks. Well, you can see them now. And the end of this is all chopped up and moved around and carved in over between where the rocks are.
This is last week's video footage. I'm going to side by side with what it looked like out there in May of 22, but when everything was still good. Now look at it. Okay, so you've seen how much sand there was, and even still right after Milton, how much sand there still was. And then you see over here on the other side, and that's just from this past week. So tons and tons of this sand have gone missing since after Milton. That Milton didn't even do all that. Well, obviously renourishment needs to happen, but that's a double-edged sword. So, city versus county. Renourishing beaches by condos and private residences versus something that's available to everyone. I'm going to get in trouble for saying this, I guess, but I'm just going to have to say it. I get it that people's homes have to have that renourishment done. I get that. But even when we were there following the storms and the county park was closed and the city police were the ones chasing people away from the beach over there by the rocks, I don't know how fair it is to spend that kind of money on beaches in front of people's private residences and condos and hotels, and then not kind of take care of things down at the park. And the way the state constitution in Florida is written is that anything below the mean high tide level, if it gets wet, basically it's public access. And even that didn't seem to be understood last year when the police officer chased us away from the park when we were over by the rocks.
We're trying to keep people out of the park because of the hazards. It's not open yet, and everyone still just walks past all the close signs. So,
well, we came on quite a bit further up that way. But what I'm trying to get is video of what the bottom of the point looks like. I've been tracking the changes. I get that. I don't see that it's there.
It might not be everything. There's so much, like I said, there's so much damage in there, everything got pushed in.
Yeah, I don't want to do anything but stay right along here and see, because I've been tracking video-wise. It's been getting bigger and bigger every storm, and now it looks like it's all that's been wiped out. So
as soon as you pass these rocks, you're no longer on a private beach. This is now the city or public, and it's closed. That's why I just advise them.
As soon as you pass these rocks, you're no longer on a private beach. As soon as you pass these rocks, you're no longer on a private beach.
She seemed to make reference to thinking that that was private beach. Not according to state law. Just want to make sure I understand, because it's private beach when the county park is closed. But it's public by state law, constitution, below the mean high tide line. But it's hard to get to because the condos and all that have it blocked all off, so you have to go below them or above them to get the public to those stretches of beach. So it's private when they want the county park closed, but then it's public to be renourished. But this is super confusing. So I don't know, is it fair to ask everyone to pay taxes, which gets funneled into this renourishing kind of stuff along with a lot of other things, and then treat it as if it's private, not public? Is it fair to everyone else that this stuff has to keep being redone? Was it smart to build this close to the ocean in the first place? I mean, I know hindsight's always 20/20, right? We can always look back and say, well, we probably should have never done that. And it's easy to say that, 30, 40 years after the fact. But really, I think in this day and age, we have to have a bit of a better discussion about this, about barrier islands and how they move and how they're kind of supposed to, and how you can't just keep throwing rocks and seawalls and sand and stuff, because Mother Nature's going to do what it does. And obviously the currents around Lido have changed dramatically, and it's causing the erosion problem to be worse. Now, yeah, we can dredge out New Pass, and yeah, we can put that sand back on the beach, but nothing's going to stop it from going right back into the same areas it did the next time a storm comes. And maybe we have to start thinking about long-term planning and not short-term fixes for something that we know is going to keep happening over and again. I am staggered by the amount of sand loss at Lido that has happened following Helene and Milton. Not even from Helene and Milton, but after it. After it, in the last 6 months. And we haven't had a storm this year, okay? We haven't had one. We're very, very, very lucky. And truthfully, we needed a break from last year. But, it's just millions and millions and millions of dollars getting spent on the same thing, and it keeps happening over and again, and the man-made fixes don't fix anything. The big giant seawalls don't stop anything from moving around. The rock jetties don't stop the erosion from happening. So maybe a better solution needs to be figured out. I don't pretend to have all the answers, but clearly something is not working right here, and it needs to be discussed. All right, let's keep shelling our way down, and then we're going to get to the sandcastle here in a few minutes as well. There are some turtle nests marked here. There's one there, one there, one right there behind me, another one closer to the fence. So hopefully those little guys are hatched out and they're going to be okay. Let's walk this rack line here and see if we see anything good. Not as mushy as closer to the water. Got a calico clam, a little auger, and a little two-tone jingle. Ooh. And how about you? Oh, juvenile fighting conch. Alright, so the further we go down, things are starting to change a little bit and get a little more interesting. Got a spiny jewel box here. Very pale, prickly. Not in fabulous shape. There's a cute kitten paw. And there is another auger. Nice. I like how they're moving sideways. That was cute. Pieces of olive starting to show up now. There's a couple of nice kitten's paws right together. Nice big silvery jingle. Auger. And the other goodies. Ooh, there's a seraph. Alright, tinies. Okay, I don't know what these kinds are called, but Roxanne gave us one of these. It's a big giant Seabean. I am flabbergasted to see this. John picked this up in the rack with all the seaweed. It's a sea heart sea bean. It's awesome. I honestly, genuinely would never have even guessed that we would have found this on our side of the Gulf. They're actually known for being a drifter. They come from the Caribbean, and they've gone and been found as far away as Europe, actually. They also have the nickname Columbus beans because supposedly Columbus spotted these things, and this is what made him want to sail west and cross the ocean. So this is a really cool find. They come from one of the biggest seed pods on the planet. Their scientific name is actually they're humongous. Take a look at this reference for the size of the seed pod for those particular seeds. So what a thrill to get this on Lido. Oh my gosh, we were excited.
We don't usually find those here at Lido. Ooh, and John's got a little hinge surf clam too. Wow, look at the size of the Seabean here. I mean, seriously, all we ever find around here is knickernuts. That's crazy. Oh my gosh. Never found one of those up this way before, ever. Wow, a lot of these guys hinged today. Cool. Ooh, look at this one. Look at that. What we got there? A little baby paper cockle. A nice big coquina with some great stripes on it. That's a cool shell. Nifty stuff. Kind of fun and different. I still can't believe he just found that big Seabean. We never get those here. Lots of surf clams today, boy. There's pieces of sand dollar all over the place too, but we haven't seen any whole ones of those yet. That's what's left of Sandcastle. That and the parking garage. And then it looks like, yeah, their little tiki hut things are still here. Probably not going to be for long. That one's already fallen in on itself. That one's got yellow caution tape around it. So may not be here much longer. And then the big main building, of course, has been taken down. And everything in the middle of the courtyard too, all the way to the street. The only thing left over there on the street side is the parking garage. I'm not sure what is going to go in its place, but when I find out some more, I'll let you know. Oh, a tulip. Not in awesome shape. But there's a moon snail. Oh, are you broken too? Just a little bit. Got a little hole. But he's compelling. And I kind of like how he's faded out in surf worn. He's really neat. Starting to see broken whelks too now. Pieces of fighting conch. So things are changing as we're moving our way down. Commercial plane, and oh, it's raining just to my left. Raining pretty hard over there. There's a yellow cockle. Nice and bright on the edge. Very pretty. And there's another auger there. Oops, dropped it. And a nice bright broad rib cardita. Another auger there too. Oh, that Wella is just cheaping away. Fun. Ooh, is that the top of an alphabet cone? It sure is. And another little hinge surf clam pair. Nice. There's a little sunray Venus. Look at you. How cute are you? Alright. Gosh, it sure is. I thought it was a piece of cardboard at first. He doesn't have any of his little spiny things, his little cilia hairs on him, so he's definitely dead. Yeah, kind of watching them. They seem to be moving toward the coast. Stay here and watch this for a second here. See if we can figure out what's going on. It is pushing southward, but closer to us than it was a few minutes ago.
So this big hole that you're looking at here on the beach is actually where the sandcastle used to be. It's been all pulled out of there. I think at one point there was nothing but a parking structure that was remaining, and I think now that may even be gone as well. So since we know that the sandcastle is no more, we're gonna travel back in time a little bit to last year and take a look at what we saw immediately following Helene and Milton when we could finally get back on to Lido Key.
We're behind the sandcastle, and it looks like there's damage to the roof there at the fascia, right at the edge. Damage to just about every unit on the bottom floor because the windows and stuff are pulled out of them. Lido Key Beach Resort fared a little better. The pool took some sand and some damage, but didn't do too badly over there. Some of the thatch is missing off of the tiki huts, but the sandcastle, on the other hand, took it pretty tough. The sandcastle was recently acquired by Ocean Breeze in Properties, and they do have affiliated properties in other areas. However, they are not accepting reservations here at this location on South Lido Beach. But here is a great picture for what it used to look like. Keep that in mind. All right, well, if you want to see what happened to Sandcastle, here we go. Got caution tape around it, but I don't see evidence that much has been done here, because all of these rooms, the sand level just carries right on in. Look how it pushed that door frame and casing back like that, moved the furniture, lifted it up, flung it around. Whoa. Yeah, and all that stuff dragged out of the windows, folks. That's what's left of the curtains in many cases. Yeah, they haven't even gotten to almost anything over here yet. At least not this far back. I don't know what the story is with this place. I've read a few different things online. One is saying that eventually it was gonna be torn down, but I don't know if that's true. Either way, it's very sad. Popular little spot down here on Lido toward the south end with all these got condos down here and some of the older school resorts, and it's just sad. It's just really sad. What an incredible amount of sand got moved into those rooms though. A couple feet worth at least. I'd say it's on par with what we saw out at Sunset Beach, where the garages were full and the the cars had floated. Except this is couches and beds, but they're tiki huts out here. Got kind of beat up too. I mean, they're here. Well, those three are. And that, I imagine, led to the lobby. Yep. Tore this place apart and flooded it with sand. It's kind of a little little tricky to get information about this place, actually. I first had to find out that Ocean Breeze Inn had bought this property so that I could find their website. And there is a news story from a few years ago that they were going to be transforming this into a luxury resort. Look at that. They were going to make it the same height as Key Towers and the other stuff further down. That's the artist rendering. Well, people had a fit. They dug in and fought. They didn't want the views down there ruined. They didn't want these big monster resorts to continue to keep going down there. And they put up a fuss about it, and the developers ended up pulling out of those plans. So now I'm not really sure what's going to happen to this place. You can see daylight through one of them, I think, unless that's a mirror. But they haven't started anything from this side at all. Now there had been a big pile of debris and stuff dragged out to the front when we came through here the last time, and that maybe had been the units that were closer up to the front. But nothing's been touched back here. Absolutely unreal. Alright, so when you look at the doors up above, like where the hardware's at, that's like 2 feet of sand, maybe 2.5 up, because it's all the way up to the door lock there. Floated that chair on top of that sand, which is clearly a couple feet thick, because it's up to where the door locks and the hardware goes. And it gets deeper as you go back. That's the crazy part. Like, it gets even deeper back in there. Unbelievable. Yeah, Sandcastle is in tough shape. Boy. I'm not sure if these buildings off to my left are also part of the same complex. They appear to be similar in color and construction. Pretty devastating down here. Just can't get over the amount of sand in here. Oh my gosh. The roof is damaged all over this property too. There's some on that building, that one right there in the middle, kind of down from where the green is. Over here too. Like, yeesh.
When you go back through this footage from a year ago, it's very striking how far we've come. You still see how far we have to go in many respects, but let's get back out in 2025 and leave Milton and Helene in the rear view.
Stay here and watch this for a second here. See if we can figure out what's going on. It is pushing southward, but closer to us than it was a few minutes ago. Now, we weren't supposed to get rained on today, but you know how that goes around here. Oh, look, there's a little turtle nest by that collapsed little tiki hut. Huh? Hatch and go swim, guys. Hatch and go swim. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not loving that. The wind's coming from this way over here, kind of down. But that is getting closer to us. So hopefully we'll be alright. Well, excuse me. Yeah, I just saw that. So it's like raining right there. Or not, but it caught my eye. Oh, a teaser. It was a rock. Sure looked like a tooth though, didn't it? I thought for a second that was a shark's tooth. I was about to get really excited. And I'm not sure what that is. Could be a tortoise spur. That is a definite fossil right there. Awesome. Okay. Alright, we got sky trouble here. We were hoping to make it down to this set of rocks that's in front of us. I didn't think we were supposed to get any rain at all. But the sky above me is turning really dark. It's not bad back there, but there's some coming. It's really black right here, and we think it's raining over across in Sarasota itself, or on the bay. Well, John, we'll see if we can make it to the rocks. If we get rained on, we'll try to duck into one of the resorts. It's not like either of us can sprint. Oh, look, there's half a sand dollar too. Where are those? Seen pieces of them all over. That's the biggest piece I've seen so far. What you got? Oh, a broken lace murex. Bummer. Wah, wah, wah.
I've got bacon.
Ooh, a nice big lucky limpet. You know what that means. It means we're about to start finding good stuff. Wow, that is a big one. Very cool. What have we got here? Oh, really old beat up base scallop in terrible shape. That color caught my eye though. What in the world? Looks like a really big corrugated jewel box. That's kind of fun. Oh. Alright, so it's not a wide line of clouds though. That's not bad. And yep, we're getting rained on. I do now. I don't think it's going to last very long. And it is quiet. I can't get over how much sand has filled up these rocks. Oh, look to our right though. There's some goodies over here. And there's shells all over the place over here. Wow. Right, there's lots of stuff on the beach here. I'm willing to bet there's stuff in the water here too. There's a nice scallop. Nice and white. And there's a nice big olive. Oh, aren't you lovely? Alrighty. More surf clams, more broken whelks, more broken fighting conchs. Great coquina and a nice pair though. Those those guys in there before I lose them. Ooh.
Got a hole in them.
I found a really big one earlier too. A big one with like ridges on it. Yeah. Check this guy out, babe. That's the one I found earlier. He's a good size surf clam. I'll pick him up. Can't believe how much stuff is up here in the rocks. There's a little yellow cockle. That's nice. Alright. Oh, a little turkey wing. Cool. Nice little turkey wing there. Oh, those are bigger drops. Alright, let's see if there's anything down here. Ooh, there's an olive. Oh, busted fighting conch. Whoa! Cool, it waves. Nice piece of oak. Alright, so there's a pile up right here. Let's dig in it. Typical spiny jewel box. Well, we did just get rained on. Didn't last very long. Alright, we're not going to be able to spend much more time here from the looks of things. And we're probably going to have to haul off. Go into one of these places and call an Uber to get back to the car because it's fixing to rain again. Oh, little baby turkey wing. Little turkey wing. You're cute. There's a summery Venus. He's so pretty. Great colors. Broken tulip over there too. Seeing tulip pieces all over the place, but where are the whole shells? And ooh, that's a nice buttercup lucine to end my day with. Along with these rain clouds. There's what just passed over us. And there is more ahead of us, so yeah, I think we're gonna have to wrap this up and try to get back. I'll take that little buttercup lucine. It'll be the last thing I pick up here on Lido today. And as always, Lido, thank you for some really interesting, neat finds. The star of the day, I think, is that big giant Seabean. What an unexpected find here on Lido Key. John's got a nice egg cockle and a broken piece of a horse. Oh, horse conch, how you tease us. Oh, that's another nice egg cockle, babe. Oh. Ooh, can you get that pink? Oh yeah, I'll take a nutmeg. Sure. Definitely.
This?
Yep.
Broken.
Aw. Bummer. That's such a pretty color. Alright, what do you say we...
That's what I think.
Hmm.
Give you a number. Make like a tree and leave. We can make like a shepherd and get the flock out of here. We can make like a cow patty and hit the trail.
Oh, look at that cute little moon. He's a sweetie. Okay, that's really the last thing I'm gonna pick up now, because I don't think I'm gonna be able to top that. That's a piece of J. Woohoo! All right.
And that J piece was a good way to end our day, along with the setting sun. So, you know, we just kind of slowly made our way back up and got one last look at the sandcastle. So, wow, a piece of a Junonia there at the end, and that cool Seabean. That was really awesome. Wasn't awesome getting rained on. That wasn't fun. But, you know, it wasn't like it was lightning and thunder and pouring either, so it was doable. And we had a pretty enjoyable time out there. It was kind of sad to see that hole where the sandcastle used to be, knowing how many people have made so many memories there. And other folks that we met on the beach that day had come by for the same reason, to kind of say their last goodbye to it, remembering going there with parents and grandparents and spending weekends. So it's the end of an era, and I'm not sure with what's going on erosion-wise and what's going on at that particular location, you know, what the future's going to look like for that little stretch of Lido or for the South Beach Park. But I'll stay on top of it and let you know what it is that I find out and what it is that I see. With winter coming, we really aren't sure what's going to happen erosionally out there as well. So, might not be a bad idea to get out to Lido and go shelling while you still have an opportunity before things get really goofy over there when that renourishment project starts. And make sure you stay tuned to the end of the video for some links up here at the top. These are some other adventures that YouTube thinks you would enjoy seeing next. Make sure you stay tuned to the Echoue Bijoux channel as well, because we have Shelloween projects coming up in a few more days. We have a trip to Sanibel and a visit to the Tribby Art Gallery to see an Anna Chan exhibit, and I'll be doing a review of her kit as well. And then we have a trip to Cayo Costa coming up here real soon too, so a new shelling location for us to try out, going out there with the Shell Club. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you again next week right here from the beach and the craft room.